I don't like this show very much, Josh.
I don't like this show very much either, Jane.
Yeah.
Let's talk about okay. Free Run season two. This was the last episode.
Yes.
And before we reflect on the show as a whole and talk about whether or not we're watching season three because that got announced immediately, of course.
Naturally.
Let's take the episode that we just watched, which once again is cleanly divided into two halves. Um, I don't know if I want to start with the first half or the second half, because if we start with the first half, it necessarily involves me bitching about that fucking bridge.
You can start wherever you want, Josh. You have the floor.
Yeah. Fuck it. First half. And I'll bitch about that bridge for as long as the fucking character spent building it. Um, so, last episode, we ended in the middle of a fight, and then didn't see that fight, and I kind of wanted to, because I thought it was funny. Um, but we're not there. We've got a canyon that we need to cross.
Naturally.
It's honestly like the canyon is deep. 3,000 meters they repeatedly emphasized for us, which I kind of appreciate. They can't fly across it though because of heavy winds, which only seems to stop them when it is convenient for it to do so. But that's kind of CinemaSins tier like nitpicking.
This show
Um,
turns me into one of those people. I hate
yeah,
it.
I
I hate it. Like the sheer amount of like lazy plot devices makes me do the, ding. It's
yeah.
awful.
No, I get it. I get it. It happens when your show has just inadequate writing. Um, but Free Ride's like, actually, we can maybe cross it over some other place. And they show up, meet a dwarf called Gehen. He's not nearly as personable or enjoyable as our elf dwarf. Dwarf is what I meant to say, as the dwarf that we hung out with like 5 or 6 episodes ago, the funny drinking guy.
Yeah.
Um, you know. But Brand's like, yo, Gehen, been a while. How's the bridge? And he's like, I finally finished it after 200 years. And this fucking gap, this gap is
It's like maybe 5 feet wide. It's very.
no, like an actual answer, it's less than 100 meters. It's probably like 50 meters or something. It's, to CinemaSins ding again, it is short enough that Stark could easily jump it, as he has shown much higher athleticism repeatedly. Um, and this guy's bridge that he spent 200 years working on is just the most it's just fucking logs.
It's very. It's
And
a very
like he
bland
sanded
and
them.
basic looking bridge.
Like
And
it is. I'm doing a disservice to how fucking basic this bridge is. I can't it's. Imagine a wooden log bridge. You probably imagine something more complex than this fucking bridge over this 30-40 meter canyon. And it took him 200 years!
so
It took him 200 fucking years!
to
I
jump
get it.
in, to
There.
jump in,
Oh. Yeah,
there
jump in.
is there's a bit where he talks about how his village was destroyed by demons, of course. And toward the end of the segment, we learn that the village has been rebuilt. I think maybe the implication is that actually it was the rebuilding of the village that took that long, and the bridge was just like part of that. Even so, it is a very just
I feel as if you're
uninspired.
being too generous.
I mean,
I feel
okay,
like
like
so much of the
listen
dialogue is explicitly about
about the
the
bridge. No, I
bridge.
fair enough, but like, listen, even if I am being too generous, like let's just assume that what I'm saying is the correct interpretation for a second.
Yeah.
Even if that's true, it's just a really bland and uninteresting retread of stuff that this show has already done many times. Like, I get it. Time passes, and Frieren's fucking old. Like, how many... Like, I understand that that's kind of the central conceit of the story, right? But,
Yeah.
like, how many times do we need to hammer it in with, like, this kind of shit, which is just... not interesting. Like it's not, and
It's
I don't mean that it needs to be like flashier or something. Like I mean, you
yeah,
need to go
because we would
deeper.
complain about that too.
We could,
Um,
like you need to go deeper into like what the bridge means to this guy, or what it means to the community, or the ways in which the area has changed since Freeran was last here. Um,
yeah,
because it
they
gestures towards all that stuff, but it
yeah
doesn't actually go into it, which is again like my problem with this fucking show for fucking simpletons is that it is just so shallow.
yeah.
Just look, everybody, we have all these themes, and if you're not doing anything with the themes, it doesn't matter, right?
I can't like imagine not to do my whole thing where it's like, oh, Josh doesn't get how Freerun fans like the show. But like, if you do like Freerun and you like watch this segment, like, describe to me how it enhances the show, or is worthwhile in its own right, or anything. You know, because there's nothing to come up with because it's nothing. It is a nothing segment that doesn't say anything other than yeah, time passes. Oh, it sucks that this bridge was gone. I rebuilt it because, people left the
Just
village. It's
no,
demons. So,
yeah,
okay.
just
Wow,
no,
what a
like
fucking fantastical thing that is. Congratulations.
no
I'm going to put
no
that up on
vit
the fridge. Well done.
no vitality to it, no depth to it. It is just here's what the show is about for the 30th fucking time.
Yeah,
And it's also
there
true with the
is.
next segment if you want to get into
Yeah.
that. Like,
Well, I won't yet because there is another thing to mention, which is that in order to create a source of conflict, I justify a fight scene because free run is for fucking 12-year-olds. Um, so I'm pissed. We finished the show. I'm like so glad it's over, but I'm pissed.
I
Um,
have a busted molar. If I'm meaner than usual this episode, that is why. I'm
yeah,
getting a GoFundMe set up, okay? It's fine. Don't. It's
yeah,
fine.
but um, but fuck. Uh, yeah, the conflict that we need to create for this part in order to justify, like, I guess it's not good enough on its own. Um, it's hard to cross the bridge because some big ass birds, uh, or well, they're monsters. The distinction between monsters and animals in the setting isn't really that understood. That's admittedly a general fantasy thing. I don't want to actually like harp on that too much, but
I kind of do, but
monsters
we'll
are
get
making
back
it
to that.
scary. Go kill monsters. Wow, the monsters should be around here, said our character that told us the monsters should be around here this chapter, because we have like fucking 500 of these so far. And then, yeah, they show up, they kill all the monsters, and it's like, great, problem solved. And, at that point, like, uh, before I even talk for the next section, I'm gonna use that we just spoke about as a like little jumping off point. This, it would appear, is like a fairly chapter by chapter adaptation of the manga, which isn't inherently a good or bad approach. It's just an approach.
Yep.
Um, there is consideration to be made for the structure of a work, an animated, adapted work as it airs, in terms of having, I guess, like some narrative excitement, or failing excitement, just like a climax of some sort, emotional, something that makes us reflect a little bit more. Um, they do
Yeah.
actually try to kind of shoehorn some of that into the second half of the episode, not very well. But before we get to that, like, as Jen and I were watching this episode, and this was the scene that we were doing, we were just having that moment of like, this is the final episode of Free Rent Season 2, and they have dedicated its first half to guy that took 200 years to build the shittiest fucking bridge imaginable over no fucking distance. I'm so pissed at that fucking bridge. Look, I'm not like look, there are people that have bridge autism. I'm not one of them, but I know damn well that you can build a much more impressive bridge over a much longer distance in much more hazardous conditions in dramatically less time, even with access to dramatically less resources and even less people. I hate this guy's fucking bridge. Fuck you, Gahan, and your fucking bridge. If I still had my least favorite characters section on any list, I would put that fucking bridge.
The bridge, not even Gahan, the bridge.
No, fuck, Gahan's a lovely guy, but he can't build a bridge for shit. Just the bridge. But yeah, I suppose the reason you feel comfortable, like, getting away with not ending on, like, a larger note is because, season fucking 3 confirmed right afterwards, but I feel like it would have been easy enough to just
I'll fucking
delay this a little bit.
like I'll go farther. Like if you wanted to have this season and have it be short like this, you just fucking cut this episode and end it with last week's episode. That would have been a better ending for the season.
If you want, you can even end it after fucking Forearms, because that's like an arc.
Yeah.
People like those.
Yeah, like Like that's kind of where I'm at with this episode. Is like it's a waste of time. Like literally, I would have rather there had just been one less episode, which is maybe the most damning thing I can say about an episode of a show.
And it's annoying because we don't want to say that and say like, oh, TikTok brain, everything needs like a purpose or whatever, but
everything does need a purpose. Hold on, that's not TikTok brain. That's just like writing.
No. I mean like people making fun of people that don't like Free and saying, "Oh, you can't appreciate like a slow episode." The purpose isn't just action. Like, no, I'm shadowboxing here. But the problem isn't that this episode isn't like cool or epic or anything. It's that the only things it's doing are things that the show has done 500 times. And not in any, like, new or interesting context that, expands on or reinterprets or does anything with the themes of the show whatsoever. It's the same trite, boring bullshit that Frieren is fucking full of. And I love boring anime, non-derogatory. We all watched the Hazel video. I love a good Iyashike. But, I mean, fuck, this is nothing. This is fucking watching paint dry. It's the second half of the episode.
It's just... Yeah, like, there's a difference between something being, like, low-key and something just being boring. Frieren very often dips into the latter description.
Yeah.
Second half of the episode.
I don't know why I sit and, like, play defense for us calling the show boring, by the way. Nobody is watching this that hasn't also watched the rest of this and knows...
For real, if you're 10 episodes into this, like, podcast, whatever we want to call it, and you're a Frieren fan, and you're, like, mad at us, but also haven't talked to us at all, you should spend your time doing other things, like just human to human.
Or talk to us about it. We might not understand you, but that's okay. You don't need to understand everybody. I
mean, I did, like, hypothetical person, I did call you a simpleton earlier in this episode. Like, you have reason to be annoyed with us, but...
Yeah. I called you a 12-year-old earlier.
I mean, that might be true. You never know. There's lots of kids on YouTube these days.
12-year-old simpleton. Watching Frieren podcasts. But yeah, no, second half of the episode. Frieren spent all our travel funds. We're in this nice, like, snowland. But Frieren's like, oh, I know where we're at. Here, we can go to this kind of, like, temp adventurer hub. Look for some fucking crystals. The crystals will give us some fucking money.
Yeah. Because every plot in Frieren is just like a shitty quest you would do in an MMO. Just to reestablish that.
The video game influence is, obvious.
I get it, bro. You've played EverQuest. It's, anyway.
Yeah. God, it's like the type of thing that you don't think too much about the narrative when you're doing it in a video game because you understand it's part of a different,
series of systems,
gameplay loop, But people got tired of those, so we made like the narrative aspects a little bit heavier and more involved, and that's where you get games where like, the side quests in this game are really fucking good. It makes the world feel like really lived in. It's like Frieren still at like the fucking.
It's the old comparison of like launch day World of Warcraft was like slay 50 bears and bring me their pelts, and modern World of Warcraft is like my lesbian lover, who I was separated from when I was raised as a ghoul, has forsaken me because of my new status. Is there some way you can help us reconnect? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that every plot in a show should necessarily aspire toward the latter status. It's fine to have just some monster fighting in your fantasy show, but the monster fighting needs to be interesting and it needs to like move the plot forward in some way. And Frieren has a big problem with both of these.
The themes.
Or that, or
some way.
It needs to serve some purpose.
Frieren does just write complete, like, busy work.
Yeah.
Into the main narrative. And also again, fucking defending ourselves from our simpleton 12-year-old audiences that think we've got TikTok brain and can't handle when things invite you to slow down. Yeah, not everything needs to be a big thing, and to be fair, yeah, busy work is part of the lived experience of a person. Don't you know? Frieren is, like, realistic. That's what makes it so good. My answer to that is I still like shit that, you know, isn't this... I
mean, I brought up, I think last week I brought up Hakame and Mikoshi, which is an Iyashike show that actually does, like, a lot of that well, and... Like, I simply have no tolerance for anybody being like, ooh, you just can't handle a slower anime. Come the fuck on.
My suggestion is to reader watch Aria. Aria is lovely. And it mods
Many examples.
There's a fuck ton. Girls Last Tour as well. But, second half of the episode, go get some fucking crystals, they'll make you rich. But while we're there, some monsters show up, so we kill them. And then a fuck ton more show up, and it's like, oh, these are actually, like, the toughest monsters we've seen up to this point. Like, this is the most effort the characters have put into a fight in the whole show. This random, like, wolf with, like, a mustache.
Yep.
And then as, like, you know, they're fucking surrounded on all sides by, like, fairy.
Keep describing the fight. I need to go get more water.
Yeah. As they're surrounded on all sides by, like, 30 of these fucking monsters. A bunch of guys ride in on horses and chase them off. And it's like, oh. Okay. The thing about Frieren is I enjoy watching it so little that it puts me into headspaces I don't normally exist in, such as Power Scaler. It's wild to me to show, like, Frieren of the Heroes Party, her pupil, and another pupil of a Heroes Party member struggle to take out one of these things, and then 30 of them get chased off by 10 guys on horseback. Like, Frieren doesn't necessarily want to create too much narrative tension within its monster fights, and I understand that, and I think that's, like, okay. But at the same time, the degree to which it undercuts any ability to get invested in them just isn't, like, good, you know? It's one of those things. The problem is the show is an action show. Like, there's no way around it. So if it's going to be an action show, the fights just need to be more compelling and feel more dangerous, but they don't. Which is why these guys on horseback fights just fucking undermines the whole thing.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back. I spoke about the guys coming in on horses and
the Riders of Rohan.
Undermining the entire sequence in a way that's at odds with Frieren as an action show, which it undeniably is.
Look, just don't worry. Listen,
bad scene.
It's the one, like, funny thing about a show like this, if you're a fan of it, is that it lets you do, like, a really funny bit of, like, rhetorical judo, where if the show is bad at being an action series, you can be like, you don't get it. It's supposed to be slow and serious and talking about the themes of life and the blah, 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 blah. We've talked about this at length already. And if it's bad at being an Iyashike, you can be like, you're too pretentious, self-serious. You don't get it, and you don't like it when a show just cuts loose and is fun for a little while. It's very, like, I do get both of these things, but the show is just not good at either of them. Like that's where I'm at. Like,
it's not good at either of them, and it's not good at being both of them as well.
yeah, like if you wanted an action series this season, you had tons of shit to pick from. And if you wanted an Iyashike this season, you didn't have that much to pick from. But if you wanted like a broader slice of life thing, you had tons of options, including You and I Are Polar Opposites, which I caught up on this past week. Fantastic show. Nothing like this, admittedly, but it's just like your taste would have to be so narrow for you to get anything out of this. And if your taste is that narrow, then I would gently suggest expanding your palette. Like, watch an Iyashike thing that is not strictly like a traditional fantasy thing with like elves and goblins and shit. You know?
I need to come up with...
I don't know, man.
I need to come up with shows that are like... Frieren is an action Iyashike show. We'll take that to be true, for the sake of the discussion. I need to try to come up with like a fairly sizable list of other action Iyashike shows.
It is, to be fair...
Yeah, to Frieren's credit,
there's not really a ton of those. Yeah. But also, would you rather not have a show that does one thing good instead of two things poorly? Like, that's where I'm at. And maybe that's a false dichotomy of its own, but I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't have any patience for this anymore. Are we...
This is coming up. It stretches the definition of Iyashike, maybe a bit much. If you like Frieren, just watch Doro Hetero.
I don't really think it counts, even a little bit. It is a good show, though.
It is definitely a slice of life.
Shout out Q Hayashida.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, after they fucking kill all the wild animals...
Yeah.
The point... Their exact quest wasn't even to find crystals, it was to go to them and, like, erect, like, a magic barrier. Which Frieren assumed was so they could, like, cut them down later and, like, sell them for profit. She's like, oh, this is such a beautiful sight. It won't stay there for long, though, because humanity's needs to move forward. Which I found interesting, because it made me sit on the fact that, as a wider narrative, Frieren is incredibly, like, pro-human to, like, an almost anti-environmentalism.
Pro-human is a very diplomatic way to put it.
Yeah.
Frierin's proclivities. We have kind of danced around the entire podcast, the whole, like, is this show kind of, like, soft, right-wing coded a little bit thing. We will address this in a moment. This was the first episode in a while that made me think, like, maybe the people who say that do actually have, like, a bit of a point.
Like, okay, for what it's worth, my angle there was Frieren calling attention to the fact that humanity is going to destroy this thing to suit its own needs. And as she said that, I reflected on the rest of the show, and even this episode, where half the menial quests in this show are just kill these wild animals because they're in the way.
I pointed this out in, like, the first half of the episode, the sheer casualness with which Fern just fucking obliterates one of these, like, big shoebill bird creatures, was startling a little bit. Like, she just puts a laser through it and it just gets chunked like a fucking Doom monster. It's it's a lot.
But no, if you're listening and you've seen the episode, you do at least know that when they get back to the camp, Frieren is told that the point of the magic barrier isn't to make it easier for us to, claim them. It's to protect it. It's to protect that site and make sure that beauty can remain. And it's like, oh, okay, this is a case where the show is interested in preserving the natural environment. Admittedly.
And yet.
Well, like, admittedly, it's for the human reason of we deserve to have this beautiful site
to look at. You'll know it does not extend to protecting the animals there.
Like,
so.
Yeah, for what?
It feels very like, did you know that Theodore Roosevelt founded a bunch of national parks corps? Like, yeah, okay, but like,
It's one of those things, you can argue that oh, even like protecting the site for your natural beauty is like an inherently selfish thing because he is doing it for humans. And that can turn into like a much wider conversation about almost everything that we in real life do for a good cause. You know, everything is for the sake of
No, no, no,
ego.
no, 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 no,
Like,
no.
you
That's
know,
not my
the
contention. That's not
show's
my contention at
no, I
all.
know that's
It's
you
like,
know,
again, that doesn't extend to the like mustache wolves though. It just feels kind
yeah,
of
no,
weird.
like I'm turning
Yeah.
I'm turning one part of it into an unrelated conversation, uh, to suggest that, oh, maybe the thing Free Rent is good at is making you think about other stuff that isn't the show. Um,
So true.
but yeah, anyway, preserving the environment doesn't extend to the wildlife because, um,
It's dangerous.
and I realize in real life, like, we've hunted some species to extinction. That's not very good of us. Um, Sometimes necessarily, bizarrely, well, we offer a lot of, or like the moral good position is understood to be even if a wildlife, even if like a wild animal is bad, don't kill them all because that's not a good idea. But we don't really have that for plants quite as often. Interestingly, that's enough of like a too heavy moral discussion to
I
get
feel like
into.
we've gotten very far away from the episode now. I'm thinking about
Yeah,
like
we have.
kudzu and
Like,
shit.
point is, fucking free run. Free run the show is sometimes concerned with protecting the environment, but it's never concerned with protecting the wildlife, which is part of the environment and the ecosystems. Free
My
run doesn't have
point,
complex enough world building to think
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
things.
yeah. My point was that it kind of builds on this broader thing of the show being just sort of shallow and not really thinking about its own implications of things just in general.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, are we done talking about the episode? Do we have anything
Uh,
else?
I mean, after they get back and learn that they were doing it for the good of environment, there is a little aside. I assume one not in the manga, but inserted into this episode to provide a feeling of emotional resolution. Uh, Wherein basically it's just like a Fern and Stark kind of reflect on the journey and look at free run and talk about free run. They're not really saying much of anything, but it sounds like a good thing to have a little speech at the end of the episode because you're waiting for more. Um, and then after the credits, they do give us our next season tease. Denkin, whom
God,
Jin and I are
yeah.
very pro Denkin, has his character motive kind of. I don't understand the exact specifics, because it's stuff that's going
We're
to be expanded on
yeah,
later.
like we're
But
we're doing a
his
thing where
character
it's like
motive has been ripped away, so we can force him to go kill a demon because demons are big bad, all deserve to
yeah.
die.
I mean,
Uh,
look,
but there's internal complexity on Denkin's end, as it is observed by the party that forced this goal onto him. He intends to die. Um, so Denkin is conflicted right now.
yeah.
Um,
And does anything good come of this? We would have to wait till season 3 to find out. And I say would have to, because if we can pivot from there to the big question of are we doing this again next year? Is that fine with you if we pivot to the question?
should we should we finish talking about this season first, or
It's kind of
are we
all the
just
same question. Like
yeah
I'm
yeah
going to be honest with you.
like
I don't like, at least for me. I don't I'm not 100% going to say we are definitely not doing more of this. But like my
we're definitely
opinion,
not 100% saying we definitely are.
yeah, like I like
We're not
my
sure. We'll see how we feel in a year and a half.
yeah.
Um,
And I'm gonna like have moved by then. There's gonna be all kinds of extraneous factors. God knows where I'm gonna be at next October. Not even this October. Next October.
yeah,
Um,
because there's a whole thing like
Well,
Because like this final episode was bad, just plain and
yeah,
simple.
no, it sucked.
Even if it wasn't the final episode of the season, it would still be a bad episode.
Yeah,
for the record.
I just
It would be Frieren's like completely middling, nothing slice of life chapters that don't stick with anybody because they have nothing to say or nothing to feel. They are just depicting a scenario that the author thought of in between points A and B.
Which is, to be marginally fair, if you are writing a serialized manga and these things only take up like a chapter each, that's a lot more digestible than if you stretch it out to 20-odd minutes in an anime episode. I think it is possible that part of the problem is just the adaptational structure they went with. Even so, we're talking about the anime, not the manga. So,
yeah,
you know, if you want to be like, oh, well, they're just adapting the manga as it was written. Okay, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, bite me. Bad episode, bad season. Can we just say bad season?
Like, not the... Like, yeah, fucking, here's the comment. Jen was pretty mixed on season 1 anyway. I fucking hated season 1. Is this better or worse than season 1?
Way worse.
Would you rather get stabbed in the heart or stabbed in the brain? Is how I see
like, okay, like I had mixed opinions on season 1. I think even the harshest critic of Frieren as a show will give you that the first episode and maybe the second of the first season are good, right? That's pretty uncontroversial. I would additionally say that for what it is, the exams arc is alright.
See, that's
I lose you there, I know.
I
know. I would say the exam arc is alright. I would say some of the traveling episodes in the first season were a lot stronger. And it feels like we've just kind of ditched like most of the show's strengths in the second season. The traveling episodes are worse. The action episodes are worse. The writing is worse. The themes have always been kind of bad, but now they're just often like not there at all. Like we've like this is a huge step down. Like we can agree on that, right? Like even if you thought the first season was bad, it's definitely worse than season 1.
The thing is, I don't even disagree with any of that. It is a case of like, so strongly do I remember like 6 or 7 episodes of them fucking dungeon crawling and exams. Just being bored out of my fucking mind. And in that regard, I feel like I liked season 2 more because it was almost the same amount of content, but they were in more locations.
Yeah, but all the locations were interchangeable and boring. So, like, does that actually matter? One of them was pretty.
I like the cliff area kind of this episode. It
feels
like they're high up. It feels like they're high up.
I think this is. I think we just disagree here.
Fucking Highlands, like, you know, there's a different feel to it.
I've been in nature too. I grew up in the Pocono Mountains. Like It's just I feel like a lot of the wilderness stuff.
But more European, you know.
I just feel like a lot of the certainly European in more ways than just that. I feel like a lot of the wilderness stuff in this season was just worse than in episode 1. Like, if you compare the
episode 1, yeah, like...
Or, sorry, season 1, sorry.
No, no, it's okay, you can finish after episode 1. Yeah, the fucking shot of Frieren in the river. It's more...
We all love it, yeah.
The shot of her boating along in the crystalline cave as well, by the way. Also an episode 1 shot. If you remember that one. You would have actually showed you a GIF.
Maybe. But, like, just, I don't know. I feel like this was a huge step down. And I already didn't, like, love the first season. I just thought it had its high points. Which is...
Again, note that I'm not even disagreeing with it being a step down. I just appreciated not having that fucking dungeon crawl.
Yeah, no, and what I'm saying is I disagree with you on that because all of the outside locations are basically the same.
By the way, for what it's worth, dear viewers, as much as I sit on the tuning exams, I like the bit with the birds and the lake.
What is that arc actually called, by the way? We just called it the tuning exams arc and the exams arc so often that I don't remember its actual name.
To be fair, I think you can call it the exams arc, but it's
That's just what it's
officially like
called?
the first class mage exam arc.
Wow, that's
Or
so
like
clunky.
mage license exam. Like, I don't actually know.
Who cares?
A lot of arc names aren't even like fully official. Um, but you know, Chunin exams.
I
The Chunin exams, I like
I
the bird, but
like here's
this
where
season
I'm
was
at.
bad though. I do agree.
Yeah, no, this season sucked, and I don't think I have it in me. Maybe I'll change my mind over the next year and change, but I don't think I have it in me to be like, yeah, I'm up for another 12, 24, 48, however fucking many episodes of this.
Yeah.
Just to see if I can finally see what people who really like it see in it. I don't think it's happening.
Next arc's supposed to be really good.
Supposedly, I mean, people said that about the fucking thing with Forearm Demon 2, and
people say that about the entire story.
People said that about the exams arc,
far.
which, like, I mean, I liked more than you did. I still don't think it was, like, great. Like, I don't know. Like, I just...
The thing is, right,
you know.
like, if we watch season 3, we're not doing it because we
want to watch the show. We're doing it to make this. Yeah.
We're not doing it because we think it'll win us over. We're not doing it because we think we'll finally get it. We're watching it to do this and to have watched it.
To feel justified in not liking it, which is a bad reason to watch something. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves.
That second part, I feel like, at least for me, the have watched it is part of the thing, regardless of the actual opinion you come away with. This is kind of a more, like, kind of broad, complicated topic, but if you think about, like, oh, what was airing, like, 10, 15 years ago, we're now at a point so far removed from then that, like, the cultural shows that are worth going back to or checking out if you hadn't seen have happened. They're all past tense, you know? You can go for, like, the highest rated or most popular shows and know that you will be more informed of the zeitgeist if you have seen them, you know?
This is fair.
It leads to feelings where if you've not watched, like, one of the huge ones, even if you've been into, like, anime for a while, there's almost like a sense of like, how have you not watched that yet?
Yeah, which, I mean, to be fair, people hit me with that with Attack on Titan all the time.
Yeah.
Because I read some of the manga, I didn't like it, just never checked out the anime.
Yeah. Jim, have you seen, I don't know, Steins Gate?
No. No, I haven't.
Me neither.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Steins Gate. Like, that's crazy. Steins Gate's such a, like...
Steins Gate seems like it'll be good, though. It's been on my plan to watch for many years.
I'm not saying that it's like if we watch Steins Gate, it fucking sucks.
Here's the thing. The reason I brought up Attack on Titan is that I'm very confident that if I did watch Attack on Titan, I wouldn't like it. I know just enough about it, and I know myself well enough to know that I would not care for it. So for me, it's a more useful comparison here. Because it becomes a question of, like, do I want to watch the rest of the Frieren anime just to say that I saw Frieren, like, end to end? And
yeah, no, that's where my point goes. It feels good to have seen the things that are of some historical interest. And the reason to watch Frieren Season 3 is to have done that, I guess, before it even, is that.
Which, to be fair,
I'm sure 10 years down the line, people will still talk about Frieren.
I think they will.
The manga anime are finished.
I think they will. I don't know if we will still be having the same conversations about Frieren, though. Because there are definitely plenty of examples, if you go back 10 years, 20 years, 30, of anime that people still talk about, but they talk about very differently than they did when they were, like, fresh in people's minds.
Yeah,
and
get that thing of...
To another point, one of the reasons that people consider Frieren so important, and this is silly, but it's true, is that it has the number one spot on Mal, and either the number one spot or close to it on Analyst. those are very narrow, very like Western otakudom centric conventions. You know,
Yeah,
that does not necessarily reflect on all of the people that watch anime in general, and it certainly doesn't necessarily reflect on what that group might look like in 10, 20 years.
yeah.
This is not to say that Freerin will definitely not be revered in 10 years. I have no idea, and honestly,
You'll
I'm
have
somebody who is just like very disconnected from the zeitgeist of like everything.
yeah,
So if people still say that this is the best shit ever in 10 years, I wouldn't be that surprised. There's plenty of things that
yeah.
people say that about now that I think are kind of mid. So I don't
Plus, I
know.
mean, the other thing is like, the continuous experience of like being alive or whatever, but you'll constantly encounter. I don't know. 10 years down the line, the people that revisit Freerun, or the people that watch it for the first time, you're gonna have your like fucking like mid-teenagers, people in like early 20s that didn't really get into anime as like a kid or anything, so they're just now discovering it, and they're
Yeah.
like revisiting like stuff from before they really knew what anime was. Um, and that's when things can change the ways in which people think about a show necessarily.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 years down the line, we'll be seeing some fucking 15-year-olds start watching Freerun. Well, people that are 5 years old today, who knows what they're going to think of it? They might like it, they might hate it. But I mean, even people my age, like, revisiting, like,
What the hell is going
Cowboy.
on outside?
That
Sorry,
sounds like a duck or something. Oh
no,
no, it sounds like somebody yelling.
I don't
Okay.
know. Just ignore
Yeah,
it. I don't know if people
I
can
mean,
even hear it.
you get people like my age that are like going and watching Cowboy Bebop for the first time or whatever,
Yeah.
and liking it, but not understanding why it's such like a celebrated thing. That could be what happens with Freerun. 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, maybe Freerun is like a solid 7 out of 10 from like the
For a
2020s.
lot of people, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I, by
I
the way, would still think that's too much credit.
Yeah. No, if
But
we're like we can talk scores if we want
like we won't. Yeah,
to.
the
Okay.
entire point of this little tangent is just to observe that like the reason for us to watch Freerun season 3 would be, as you said,
To say
to
we
have
were
an opinion
there.
on it,
Yeah.
and as I said, to have experienced that history as it happened. I don't know how much I value either of those things,
Me
because
neither.
this is the year where I watched and dropped Jujutsu Kaisen season 3.
Which is another thing that is, very
It's in a
popular
similar
present
position.
day. Definitely people will still be talking about it in some manner or another in a decade. God knows what that manner
Yeah,
will be. Um I don't know. To compare Frieren to something that is very dissimilar to it in terms of genre and tone, but is similar to it in uh, some ways. Um, Oshinoko's third season also just ended. Uh,
yeah,
and that is a show where I have just to very, very quickly go over my opinions of Oshinoko because it's contextually relevant for what I'm about to say. I think the first season is quite good. Second season is fantastic. Third season was a rough ride. But I'm maybe tentatively back on board with the finale. We'll see what happens in the last season. That is something where I think Oshinoko's not quite as popular, but it's the sort of thing where widely acclaimed for a long while, and then the ending happened to the manga, and now people are like, actually, this is trash, right?
yeah.
I don't think it's impossible something like that happens to Freerun. I'm not
Oh,
saying
that
it
was.
will.
Oh no! Don't say that, Jane. You're giving me such fucking
Okay, that's not what I meant.
hopes for the future. No, like I know that's not what you mean, but I'm imagining the fucking Schadenfreude of Freerun fans having a shit ending, and they'll be like, "Oh fuck this! I don't even care about it." Because that's what people do. It doesn't matter how good the entire rest of the journey was. If the
It
ending was
doesn't.
bad, the whole
It
thing
it
is
doesn't
fucking
even
like
matter how
fucking
good the ending is, man. Like Chainsaw Man also ended this past week. I liked the ending to
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man. A lot of people did not. And now I'm seeing because this is how people are. I'm
Thank you,
seeing,
sister, that's where you're in.
yeah, like I'm seeing parodies of the one panel like across all of the internet spaces that I'm in, and it's like, all right, everybody get your jokes off. But that's how people are. People are fickle. Like,
Yeah.
if something takes a swerve that the audience does not like, it is entirely possible for it to lose people.
I'm
Um,
so upset that you planted the idea of Free-Rent bad ending in my mind, because I want that so fucking bad and I would be so fucking
I
funny.
don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's likely, just
The
because
thing
I
is,
don't think Freerun is daring enough to do anything that would piss its audience off. Like,
good
honestly,
point. No, you're absolutely correct. Unfortunately, you are, but
like
like,
I'm gonna tell you how
the
I
other thing
think
about
Freerun's
that
gonna end.
happens, by the
Actually,
way, just
yeah,
saying the thing. As soon as the manga is over and the ending is bad, and the anime is still airing, all you get is people watching the anime and fucking doom posting.
yeah,
Because
it's
they can't
very
praise it
annoying.
anymore without being like, oh, it's a shame that it's gonna go to shit at this exact chapter. It's like, shut the fuck up. I don't care. I'm watching it. Go
It's
away.
very like.
But that will start happening with Free Engine. Free Run would end badly, and then the next season would start, and people would be like, man,
I
fuck
want to
this.
tell
This
you
is shit.
exactly. I'm going to
God,
tell
I
you.
love this fucking scenario
I am going to tell you
you've imagined.
exactly how Freerun is going to end. Okay, we're gonna get. It's gonna be sometime after she's beaten the last of the Elite Four, whatever the fuck. I don't remember what the demon
Yeah.
channels are called in this.
No, you're right, the Elite Four.
um, all of our plot threads have been wrapped up. She's seen like the spirit of Himmel the hero or whatever, and it's gonna be like the last chapter is gonna start with like X hundred years after the death of Himmel the hero, and we're gonna see Frieren be old and dying, and she's gonna have like a like Fern's like great granddaughter or something who's gonna be her new apprentice, and the ending's going to be very sad, and because it reminds people of the first chapter, everyone will be like, ooh, peak! I cried my eyes out! Ooh! And, that's what I think is going to happen. Like, legitimately, like, if I had to take a guess, like, if I'm in the poly market bracket for, like, betting on what kind of ending Freerun's going to have, that's what I'm putting my money on.
I
Because
will
it's
say
cheap emotional
your
manipulation.
I will say your horrible teeth problems that you're dealing with right now did wonders for your delivery of that OP. That was good.
Yeah.
Unfortunate the reasoning, but
You know, use the tools you've got.
Yeah.
Um,
No, you're probably right. I can't wait. Whatever. Freeren's not ending anytime soon, at least anime-wise, certainly.
yeah.
Um, so, fuck, yeah, I mean,
I just
neither
don't
of
think
us
it.
can answer
Yeah.
definitively if we will or won't watch
I
season 3.
I am leaning on no. I don't think I have it in me. Like to actually like take the show at its word for a second. Um, supposedly one of the things that Freerun is about is like, oh, life is short, smoke it while you got it, that kind of thing. Um, like I don't think I have like even like 5 years ago I'd be like fuck yeah, like why not? But
Yeah.
the experience of watching the season was honestly really draining. Like recording these with you has been fun because you're my friend and I like talking to you.
Me too.
Um, and this is like a thing we share like a broad opinion on, so we can shoot the shit, and that's all
Yeah.
good. But I don't think I have it in me to watch
Yeah.
like another 5 hours of this, 6 hours of this, just to
Again, there is.
inevitably be annoyed that people think it's like some brilliant work of art when it's clearly just derivative and
Dog shit.
shallow and
Yeah. Of
just
course it
like
is.
lacking in verisimilitude and all these other things that I could say, varying levels of meanness. I just don't think I have it in me. Maybe my
Yeah.
opinion will change. I don't think so. I'm
The thing
saying
is,
no tentatively.
like, that might be what happens. You might be right. Obvious thing, you said it earlier, but we didn't actually really, like, talk about it. Yeah, the main reason we're doing this is it is a fun thing for you and I to do. That it's glorified, more structured hanging out.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
the
which we can
videos
do
are a
without having to
byproduct.
do this.
Yeah, like the thing
Uh,
is, if we watch a good show together and talk about it afterwards, we don't feel the need to like turn it into content as like a having like a byproduct, so we can at least be like,
yeah,
okay, we didn't totally waste our time. Because if
yeah.
if we were not doing this and we're just talking about like the actual act of watching the show, yeah, I do think that I wasted my time, kind of.
Yeah,
Like
no, I mean,
if it wasn't to hang out with you, like,
obvious enough thing, the entire reason that we both watch this is because we would be watching it and recording this.
mhm,
I would not have finished the season on my own.
yeah,
You, I don't think, would have finished the season on your own.
nope,
If the prospect is watch season 3 and not do this, that's not fucking happening.
yeah,
Plain and simple. I do not want to watch season 3 unless I'm watching it with you and
we're doing
presumably we're
this, yeah,
continuing the Frierenkvetching format.
which
Frierenkvetching Z will return.
except it
But
probably
it
won't.
might take another while. Yeah.
You know, this
Again,
would be
a
like
year
if
and a
there
half
was
from now,
a,
who knows?
yeah, I mean,
Um,
a lot of things could happen in the next, what, 16 months or so, but I
yeah.
and you
You
know
can
the
be
whole,
dead fucking sure, viewers. If it does return, it's because we watched the show. If it does not return,
it's because we didn't.
neither Jane nor I like watched the first episode. We didn't even like do that much. We didn't care. You know, if you don't see content, there was no like, maybe we'll download. Like, no, we just get out of there. You know,
Hmm.
I tried Jujutsu Kaisen season fucking 3, which I didn't expect to do, to be fair. But I kind of knew I was gonna drop that. When it comes to fucking free rent, like I feel I should, just cut the middleman. Don't even
Hmm.
fucking bother.
Yeah, like
If again, if we decide not to, which
which is seeming more
right now,
likely
yeah,
the more we talk
yeah,
about it. Yeah, like if we're talking about, because the thing that I come back to is that like if I were just watching the show on my own, I would have been wasting my time.
yeah,
That is kind of, I am a big believer that like numerical scores out of 10, out of whatever, only matter to the person who gives them most of the time, unless you can
yeah.
like really explain yourself, which I am going to attempt to do. I'm feeling like a light 3 out of 10 for this season. And
No,
the thing
tell.
is, I very rarely score things below below a 5, and I only go below a 5 if I feel like I've wasted my time, which I
Yeah,
kind of do with this season.
Jane Broadway's a pretty high scorer. I'm broadly a pretty low scorer.
Yeah,
Together, we create pure mediocrity.
yeah, like I'll fucking, look at the video for a second, okay? I'm gonna open my fucking completed list. You can see how few things I have under a 5. Like, okay, here we're in the 7s, lots of 7s, lots of 6s, fair amount of 5s, and then we hit 4s, and it's like, okay, there's a decent amount of 4s, and then there's like a handful of 3s, and then barely any 2s or 1s. Like, again, like, this doesn't matter to anybody but me. If you saw, like, your favorite show in the 5 out of 10 section just now, I apologize.
Yeah.
But, that's where I'm at. Like, it's not a complete wash because I liked the episode with the booze, and I liked one other one. What was the other one that I liked?
Episode 9 last week was good.
Yeah, but the episode 9 last week was pretty good. Yeah, I think that was the other main one that I liked. And then if I, add the bits from all the other episodes that I liked together, you get like about one extra episode. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, yeah, it was. I really don't get it. If you like Frieren and you're somehow still watching this, like, sorry we just spent like 8 hours. If you watch the whole playlist trashing your favorite show, but like it's kind of your own fault at that point, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
Then do me a solid. Put this visual up on screen just for people. This is
visual.
my. I'd send you an image.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is my rating distribution, just for the sake of talking about my own scores. there are 24 anime with 10 out of 10, 30 with 1 out of 10, possibly about to be 31. Um, but I could sit there and say I'm a low scorer. 7 is like the most common thing there.
Which makes
Everything's a 5 or
sense,
6 or
right?
yeah.
Like,
That's the thing. I do actually mostly watch stuff I like. I'd
like
say 7 is the one that
a
happens.
7 is good, but it's like not outstanding. It's like
Yeah,
it's solid. It's an
yeah,
agreeable score.
yeah. I like the show probably.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
I like the show if it's a 7 out of 10. Um, Jesus. Uh, in that sense, if I sit and be like, yeah, I'm fucking giving Freerun a 1, which, yeah, I mean, I suppose is gonna happen. Like, it's not because I score everything I, like, think poorly of a 1. Um,
Did I tell you that I used to do that when I had like just first got an analyst? I gave everything either a 10 or a 1. I stopped doing this pretty quick.
yeah, if people want to do that, sure, but, like,
It's like,
stop.
actually humanity is largely converged on like the 10-point scoring scale because 10 is like a nice round number that easily divides into things. Like the only real exception is sometimes we do out of 5 instead for movies, and surprise, you could just double the score out of 5 to get a score out of 10. So like,
Yeah,
you know,
if you want, just use smiley faces.
yeah. Or you could do like
Um,
some Robert Christgau shit where you're like, it's a stake or a bomb or like a letter grade. I don't remember how his scoring system works. It's very involved for some reason.
as you do. Not to talk too much about scoring systems, but I find it really funny when people explain their scoring systems. It's just like one word per each number. It's like, thanks, real helpful,
Yeah.
great. That's really like unique.
Yeah.
I should read that. That's interesting. You
Yeah.
have something to say here, huh?
I mean, I have like a little blurb. I won't pretend I'm not part of this problem because I have like a little blurb on my analyst page where I'm like, I score things relative to other similar things, right? Because like saying Fresh Precure is a 10 out of 10 and saying Serial Experiments Lane is a 10 out of 10, those are different statements, right?
Yeah,
Like Anyway, you
yeah.
can keep talking about scoring for a second because I have to use the restroom and I don't feel like hitting the stop button because I
No,
feel
that's
like we
okay.
have more to say. So,
Like, I can just sit and yap about scores for a minute. Um, really, my visual is just there to demonstrate the thing I said a minute ago, which is I do like most of what I watch. I don't score things negatively too often. Um, as a general, like, consistent thing, if I gave a show a 1, it is because I probably hated the experience of watching it. And that has variance to it. It's not quite as easy as that, and I actually need to change a few of my 1 out of 10 scores because I don't agree with a few of them. Also, there's some amount of like, oh, here's a show that was really funny bad. Um, or, generally though they make me angry. That is like the most consistent aspect. Why do they make me angry? It will depend on the thing. Um, but I do think that's the reason that I'm falling on like 1 for free run, because like I realize how fucking counterintuitive this is. Free run season 2 is probably better than most of what I gave like 2s, and even some 3 out of 10s in this list. But I will likely score it
what it
lower
do?
because it do. I'm talking about the fact that free run is better than stuff in my like 2 and 3 out of 10, but I'm gonna score it lower anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
uh,
Well, like, that ties into like, oh, fucking objectivity isn't fucking real, but at the same time, I'm not like completely,
I mean,
an idiot.
it's
I'm not
your
going to sit
list.
there and like tell a fucking person that no, Freerun is worse than Gokicha, Cockroach Girls, a short about anthropomorphic cockroaches that's not very good. Um, I'm not gonna sit there and tell you that like, oh,
Like, this is
free
actually
run is
kind of an
free run
interesting
is better
conversation.
than fucking
Which we've touched on this
3 out of 10
before.
worse than Prima Doll. I'm just looking at my 3 out of 10. It's not Prima Doll.
Wow, that is a hot take. Hold on to that one. That's like you dug that out of a mountainside. I remember watching the first episode of Prima Doll and being like, "Wow, this sucks."
Hey,
Anyway,
I'm set on my go. Remember that fucking guy from the show I wanted to fuck because it was hot as hell?
no, but
No,
fair.
there was like a guy who was like an awesome fucking like beautiful persona.
Like, listen.
It's a case where I watched a cute girl show, like a really cute moe farming cute girl show, and I like the guy more than the girls. That doesn't happen.
Tragic.
Yeah.
No, but
the actual point I'm making is that even if Free-Run is like better by most conventional metrics than a few amount of shows that I will score higher than it, the reason Free-Run is or will be scored low by me is the experience of watching it like angered me basically or pissed me off, or there's enough about it that I feel strongly negatively about to where even though I can give it its due credit and say that like it does a lot of these things like pretty well, and it is perhaps more interesting intellectually engaging experience than watching doku hentai. I don't know, like Hex Arrows, I think is how they end up pronouncing it in Japanese.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this is more intellectually engaging than the average HC anime. I'll say that.
Look, okay, but Doku Hentai Hex Arrows is.
I haven't seen that one. Maybe that one is like a bad example, but.
Look, I don't watch a lot of HC anime.
I watch the occasional one. I'm not ashamed of who I am.
No, it's like, don't worry. Your hosts here aren't prudes. If Fan Hatter Milkers are, the show would be like...
Will you fucking stop it with that? I'm gonna kill you. It's the last episode.
Point is, though, like,
I just think that salaciousness can have a place in artistic expression.
Oh, duh.
And, when I look back on my old, like, write-ups about the first season of Dress Up Darling, I genuinely cringe at myself a little bit because they're so, like, 2012 Tumblr brained, where I'm like, is it okay if this show is horny or not? It's from the perspective of a teenage boy. Fucking obviously it's horny. Anyway, now that I've torpedoed my credibility by defending fan service in anime...
God, so, like, I've seen some of my scores, and I'm getting, like, mad at myself. Like, I have Magical Girl Spec Ops Asuka at 2 out of 10, and I'm about to give Free-Run Season 2 a 1.
Asuka is way worse than this show.
Asuka is way worse than this show, but guess which one I'm going to rate lower?
I will say this, Asuka's also more original than this show. Originality is not necessarily a good thing. But, what I was going to say is just like... The
broad point's been conveyed. I'm not scoring it for lack of good. I'm scoring it for frequency of bad.
Yeah. I mean, this is a thing that we've touched on a couple times before, but it's the last episode. We're going to run long. Sorry. A thing that I have thought about frequently is that, like, Free-Run is good if you only compare it to, like, Naruke stuff. And I do think, I've said this before, I do think it's where some of the praise comes from, but it doesn't account for all of it. Like,
it's better produced than a lot of them. I think
that too.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, okay? A lot of, like, really bad Naruke adaptations just, like, aren't television, essentially. Like, you and I watched the first episode of The Water Magician together. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
That was just
I remember the fact that we watched it. Can I remember anything that happened?
Well, kind of case in point. Like, that is just, like, not a story. That's just, a bunch of, like, disconnected things happen for no reason. And, Free-Run's, do you want to call them filler episodes or whatever the fuck, sometimes edge into that territory, but by and large it is actually about stuff on at least a literal level. Which is more than a lot of those shows can say. And I do, like, part of me wonders if it's just, like, the people are starved for good high fantasy anime. In which case, I mean, Which Had to Tell You starts airing in like a couple days, I think.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean, gee, if we
keep your
get
eye
into
out.
that,
Oh my god,
I've only read like a few fucking chapters of that manga. I'm just like
it's
fucking
very
confident.
good. It's
If
very
you
good.
if you want to watch like a fantasy show with magic that's good instead of free run, just watch Witch Hat.
Which, not that there
You'll
aren't other fantasy anime that are good, but like
No, I know,
recent
but
ones,
you know,
there's not a
like
ton.
topical. If you need to follow one of them, just do that. And if you want a show about like killing demons, I think, well, Yomi no Tsugai, Demons of the Shadow Realm, is about to start. I don't know if that's gonna be good,
I don't
but
know
it
what
is.
that is. I don't think.
You know, not to like completely put you on blast. Every time the show has come up between us,
I'm
you
sorry.
have said that.
Okay,
No,
what
it's
is
okay.
it? Which one is
It's
it?
the one by Hiromu Arakawa.
Oh, okay. No, never
Yeah,
mind. I do know which one that is. I just always
yeah,
forget the
and that's
title.
how the response goes as
Fuck
well.
you.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that's gonna be any good, but it's by Hiromu Arakawa of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood fame, you know, the anime that used to be top on Mal before fucking Free Run took its place. By the way, I'm not like a particularly big Full Metal Alchemist fan. I
I'm
do
not
like it,
either. I
honestly,
think
but
it's
like,
like pretty good, but
I do think it mocks Free Run. In as much as number one anime on Mal is a title worth holding, I think Brotherhood deserves it way more than Free Run. But admittedly, the things that kind of quantify that, in my opinion, are more to do with the narrative's accessibility and ability to be enjoyed by people that haven't necessarily dipped their toes into anime. Because I think both of those shows are worse than Bocchi the Rock, for example, but I'm not going to campaign for Bocchi the Rock
true.
to be the number one anime on my
I
anime
don't
list.
know. Do you think? Do
However,
you
I
think
have
Bullshit? Hold on.
contributed
Actually,
to that
sorry,
status
sorry,
by
sorry,
getting
sorry,
my
sorry, 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 sorry. Do you think that Bullshit the Rock is inaccessible? I wouldn't say so.
No, okay. The particular delineation I mean is that people like if you take like average fucking Joe, like this level of like you need to imagine the most like fucking John Normie in the world, all female cast, cute girl slice of life show.
I don't know. You just tell them it's a comedy. Maybe I'm too deep in the otaku minds to even imagine this person anymore. I don't know.
You know, that is a whole other discussion. At the very least, I feel like
I do think it's somewhat relevant because I do think a lot of Freerun's praise comes from the. I brought this up several episodes ago of like I don't want to think this poorly of people, but I do think that at least some of the praise for Freerun comes from the fact that it's like not very obviously Japanese,
yeah, no, I
which
mean
is like a whole thing. This is also kind of why Cowboy Bebop
that
had
is
the
one of
sterling
the
reputation it did for a long time.
that is
Um,
one of the traits of these shows. It applies to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It applies to Death Note. It applies to like Attack on Titan.
Death
Like,
Note's like a little more so because it actually takes place in
yeah, no,
Japan,
I
but
like
yeah,
that's what I mean by accessibility.
yeah.
Accessibility does, for the purposes of our imagined normal person, include not being overwhelmingly Japanese.
Hmm.
Um, can they watch the dub and not lose anything? You know.
Yeah, essentially.
Um, yeah. Again,
No,
that is like
that's
all
fair.
fucking neutral observations. Like, yeah, what does it mean to be number one on Mal is an entirely different conversation. Freerun has earned that spot. To Freerun's credit, it is a very accessible narrative in terms of the things we are attempting to convey here. Um, that is neither a good nor bad trait. It is just a trait.
I kind of think it
Um,
is a bad trait in the case of Freerun specifically.
okay, like yeah, but that's not
I think if it
the
was
trait
trying
itself.
little, I think if it was trying a little harder and was maybe more willing to lose people, it would maybe stick more. I don't know. That's a guess.
I mean, that's like a whole other conversation, really. Um, the good thing is that the human experience is kind of such that I don't think we will ever lose art that isn't trying to be for everybody.
Oh no, of course
Um,
not. I mean, like, not to just talk about a different show entirely. This very season, we had Shiba Yugi, which
Oh
was the
yeah.
best thing to air this season, probably the best thing that's going to air this year. Very weird, very daring visual presentation. Very willing to take like wide swings with like you can immediately tell that Shiba Yugi is like different from like scene one,
Yeah.
episode one. Like that is a
Can
show that
also
is
understand why somebody wouldn't enjoy watching
yeah.
it.
No, if you have like no patience for non-linearity and if you are like not okay with being confused sometimes when you watch something, you will hate Shiba Yugi, which I
Yeah.
think is your loss, but I'm one person and you're another. So,
Yeah.
um
I mean, even the point of just bringing it up is to say that, art isn't always for everybody,
yeah,
and it's when you do that art that isn't for everybody that the
that you
people
get
whom it
something
is
really
for
special, yeah.
get to be like, oh, this is peak.
Yeah. Like yeah, like actually. And if
I'm just saying you don't need to do that if you want to make your work accessible, so be it. I do like a lot of things that are
I'm
widely considered
actually gonna go
accessible.
ahead and say I think that if
Look,
you're
okay, yeah,
watching
make your
this,
art, be like a weird fetishist and make your
yeah,
weird art for your own
yeah,
sickos. I get that. Haha, sickos, I understand. I'm sickos, I get it. I do also just like, I said earlier, Fullmetal Alchemist. I also like Death Note enough. My favorite anime for the longest time was Madoka Magica, which I have complicated feelings on how accessible I think it is, but I think it is mostly kind of accessible. That is another
it's
conversation entirely. It also
yeah.
has they are all like little girls, and that does put people off. But it
I
is also
honestly
like kind of
think
very transparently like a
I
fucking like
honestly
Faustian
think
bargain narrative, like
yeah.
Shakespearean shit. I think you can watch it
I
before having
think
seen like any other anime and be like, oh okay, I get it. It's peak.
they're coming to
I made
arrest
my
me for my
English
free
teacher watch it.
takes. That's awesome. I
He loved it. He
I
said it was beautiful.
that's awesome. That's really good. Like the
Yeah, I
thing,
know.
actually, the interesting thing to me about Madoka Magica is that it is that popular despite being like pretty uncompromising, especially the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Um, you know,
I think the show's fairly
yeah.
accessible. I don't think Rebellion is.
Oh my
Um,
god, no! Like the fucking like the
which one I think is better is a different conversation. I think they are two of the most like in conversation with one another
yeah.
pieces of anime that I've seen. Rebellion's
Valpurgis not rising soon.
God,
Trust.
I'm
Trust.
scared. I am scared. That's the thing. The show and
Yeah.
Rebellion are so like in conversation with one another, and it's like, is Valpurgis Night Rising going to be? I don't know, but that's not the
That's not the
accessible art.
conversation. Yeah.
Um,
No, I honestly think that one of my main problems with Frieren, I'm now realizing, is that it is so. Well, okay, like I've called it bland before, but that does kind of go hand in hand with the accessibility thing. Like,
yeah,
yeah, you can explain Frieren to pretty much anybody who's ever heard of fantasy as a genre, but you lose out on a lot of like character because it's so broad appeal, right? I hold on one
I
second.
wonder.
I want you to tell me what you think is the like weirdest narrative decision in Frieren. Not weird in terms of not listen
Yeah,
to
but
me.
I have an answer.
Listen to me.
Racism.
Yeah, okay. Not weird in terms of being off-putting, because unfortunately, racism in fiction is actually very normalized. I mean weird as in like a swerve.
Yeah, what's the most Shiba Yugi-esque thing? What's the most
Yeah,
the
like
author
what
is a
is that?
sicko and did this for other
And
sickos?
I like nothing comes to mind. Um
Yeah, to be honest.
like there must be something that you could
As
shoot.
ever, by the way, there's like nuance to
Maybe
this conversation, and neither of us
actually
are saying that works that don't have this are automatically bad, because we do like plenty of normal fucking things. Makoto Shinkai has made an entire career out of just being kind of normal. And I love
you
it.
say that, but there's the movie where the guy is a chair.
There is a movie where the guy is a chair.
People didn't seem to
That's
like that one as much. I don't know.
Yeah, he did a swerve and it wasn't that good. Sometimes that happens.
You know.
To be fair, to spoil Watering with you, the guy does the selfish bastard play at the end and dooms all.
Yeah,
the
that's why I
Some people
like that movie
Some
so
people
much.
hated that.
Yeah.
you and I are the sickos in that
Yeah,
situation.
I'm like, yeah, absolutely you would fucking doom the world to save your girlfriend in that situation. Like, I'm not saying that that's,
Yeah.
like, the morally right thing to do, but I think it's what most people would do.
It's
Um,
the more interesting decision
and
to
the,
watch.
yeah. You're gonna hate this, Josh. I think the, like, sickos.jpg thing in Freerun might be Ooble. Think about
Well,
it
it
for a
might be.
second. Like,
No, she is the character that
which,
she feels the most transplanted from a different series. Every
yeah.
character in the show is so identical in their approach to life
Mm-hmm.
that this one character whom is just there's something wrong with her.
There's
Like,
something wrong with
it's wrong to even call
girly.
every other character genre savvy or something, because they're not, but like every other character is a lot more like what you think a character in Freerun would be like.
Yeah, a
And
lot
Ubel is
of.
the exception. She is the most like
Mm-hmm.
what a weird little tangent she is.
I will say this. There is no universe where Freerun as a show is making any plays to bring me specifically back. But if it were, arc about Ubel, I would be curious. I'm not saying it would be good automatically. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But I'd be curious.
Yeah, it's
Maybe I should just read the manga. That's such a like lower commitment.
yeah, but I wouldn't do it with you, and we wouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, it would be that
We
I
would
would
just have
read
the
it and then I
discussion
would be
for it.
like, "Gosh, it turns out the manga's kind of bad too." And
Ah, I would be so shocked.
yeah,
But
you know.
yeah, I guess Ubel is the most like an outsider thing in the show. I don't even necessarily think giving her a stronger focus would do much of anything for the series, to be
Probably
fair.
not.
And again,
Like,
as we have said
you know.
anyway, you don't need to do a haha sickles to make a compelling piece of fiction. Um,
But
but
it helps. I
I
I'm a little more strongly on the side of I think things should try to be weird and off putting more often than you are, which is fine, people have different tastes. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, even Jujutsu Kaisen has stuff in it where it's like, you know, this is a little bit of a swerve from where this genre is normally at. And
yeah,
people tend to
you get
treat
to see Meme and
JJK.
her fucking like little brother, little
Yeah,
boy that she's
I'm
like, looks like
I'm
we're
not
into,
saying I love it
that
or
makes people laugh.
am into it, but it's definitely something that is in there. I think mostly because the author just wanted to put it there, which
Yeah,
is not to say it can't also serve some purpose, and in fact, it probably does. I didn't read all of JJK, but like, you know, put some of
JJK has a good
yourself into
amount of
your
haha
art, you know?
sickles.
Like, yeah, like that's where I'm at. It's just like I feel I watch Freerun and I feel like I know nothing about the writer. And the few things I can kind of reverse engineer about the writer are really unkind, so I don't want them to be true.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I don't want it to be. I mean, even some of the details in this last episode are very like, we got to go out and conquer the frontier for the good of, you know, human civilization. And it's like, why is this kind of coded like we're like set in like an Alaskan mining town during the Yukon gold rush? Like, what are we doing here? And you know, that's unfair of me, maybe a little bit, but also it does give that vibe, and that's just the vibe that it gives to me. And I'm not saying that it's inherently, definitely what the guy was going for,
yeah.
but it made me
I
think of that.
I know what you mean. Um, I don't know like what needs to be done to like save free rent for us.
I
Certainly
have
at this
no
point,
idea.
I mean, to be fair, maybe free rent having like an awful ending is what we actually need. Maybe the ending is for sickos, and maybe we are the sickos.
That would
Maybe
be
free rent,
like,
that would be the
look,
funniest fucking outcome of all time. If free rent
the
has a good
long
awful
con.
ending, but we hate it.
The
Oh
long
no, sorry, we
con.
love it.
Yeah.
God, oh, now I want that to happen because that would
That
be
would be
even
so
funnier.
funny.
Freerun has
I
an
don't think
awful
so.
ending every single fucking like time a new season comes out. Manga readers are just doing postings. It's like they're not going to do an original ending. We'll just adapt and it sucks. It's a shame how much the story lost. And like we're sitting there with bated fucking breath waiting to get there, and it's like the best thing we've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's
It's
the
just
most
Frieren turning to the camera and giving a lengthy speech on why she has been wrong about the demons the entire time.
It goes like beyond just the haha sickos image and turns into like outright fucking outsider art. Yeah.
And the next Star Wars movie will be good too.
That's what Freya says in the episode, by the way.
Thus becoming the third anime to somehow have Star Wars movies as a plot point. Well, Fire Punch is a manga, but whatever.
Yeah. So I had to like turn and be like, what? After hearing that sentence. Okay, fair enough.
The other one is Sabakui Bisco.
I didn't know that about either of those.
Yeah. It's like not a huge thing, but the villain is like, yeah, I'm trying to like revert the world to how it was back when people still made Star Wars movies. And it's like, huh? Sabakui Bisco is a very strange show. I like it more than Frieren.
Well, you know.
It's weirder than Frieren.
No, I'm not finishing that sentence.
Also, Pawu was in it, and shout out to Pawu.
Yeah. By the way, I scored the season.
I should do that too. I think I'm settled on the...
Viewers, do I need to tell you my score? Like, I feel like you can just infer it, right? Like... Yeah, no, I'm not saying my score out loud. Figure it out.
No, just... divine it in your mind.
Or go in my mouth.
I wanted to close Frierenkvetching with a bit of positivity, because I want to ask what you thought about this season, generally speaking. Because we already touched on Shiba Yugi, fantastic show. What else was you know,
well,
popping Josh World?
I do just want to say, and I don't think they're watching it, I hope they're not, because I've said some quite mean things, but if they are, Wolfie, I love you, it's a
Wolfie, I'm sorry. I have just been assuming that Wolfie has not been watching these anymore. I hope that's true.
I hope so too. If you are, Wolfie, I mean it though. I love you. It's, you know, all those things I just said in the heat of the moment, they're not about you. I treasure and respect you. I'm probably like...
Anyway,
perhaps a bit too much. I'm probably overdoing it.
Can we discuss the season at large?
This season was okay.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was pretty great, to be fair. I mean, I need to remove my drops because there's too many of those. I need to remove my not in list because there's too many.
I mean, we can briefly talk about the one thing that we did both watch in addition to this.
Oh, Jesus, So I don't actually realize, like, I've taken out the shit that I, you know, I've taken out the shit that I didn't drop or try, so I'm left with, you know, watching and completed. And I'm not actually left with as much as I thought I was. But to be fair, like, some of what I have been watching is, like, it's like Ganosia and Pokemon and Kopen-chan and Ganso Pandori are all, like, continued airings. And
Ganosia counts.
No, it fully does, but...
It was a good show.
Yeah.
Shout out to Yuri. The character, not Yuri the concept, although there's, like, a little bit of that in there.
To Yuri the concept
yeah.
Well.
The genre of fiction.
Yeah.
The idea, the lifestyle.
Shoutouts to Yuri. Shoutouts to Cosmic Princess Kaguya, which counts as a this season show, by the way.
I liked that movie. Not as much as some other people seem to have liked it, but I liked it.
I loved it.
I really like...
My Twitter algorithm does too. I have so much fucking art in my likes, it's peak.
Here's what I said about Cosmic Princess Kaguya, which was like, even if I didn't connect with the movie on quite as close of a level as I would have liked to, I'm still glad it got made and is doing well, because we need more movies that are just like, I made a thing, check it out.
By the way,
like,
to clarify for viewers, if you are watching for Frieren, like, we're basically done.
Yeah, we're done with that, sorry.
You can bounce.
Frieren's bad.
Frieren's bad. I scored it exactly what you think I scored it. There was no grace in my heart. It's time to talk about good anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, Cosmic Princess Kaguya was this season. Counts as peak.
Yeah.
Another fucking JoJo part started. That's awesome. Beastars ended. It ended horribly, which is unfortunate.
Well, that sucks.
And the thing is, I was not to go into exact detail, but I was in like a bookshop the other day. I saw like a later volume covering like chapters that would be in this season. I opened on just like a bumfuck random page and saw a really major character defining plot point encapsulated in a single page that was entirely removed from the final season.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, so it's this type of dog shit. Okay, right.
That sucks.
Yeah. And I had already heard that the manga ending apparently isn't great. But cool that the anime decided to make it worse.
Yeah. I mean,
happens.
we did say we were going to talk about good anime.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
We're both watching Ikoku Nikki.
We're both watching Ikoku Nikki. It's not resonating with me as much as some other people. But
that's unfortunate, but I get
all
it.
The same. It's like absolutely like good.
Ikoku Nikki is one of those things where I love the show to pieces, but watching it every week is like actually kind of hard because I relate to the characters to such an extent that it's like there's a bit of like an ow oof kind of feeling going on.
I think I have the thing where
especially Makio, who is also a not very well put together woman in her 30s who makes her living off of writing things.
I think she's in her 40s.
Is she? I thought she was like 35. Maybe
I can't remember.
Okay.
I think right now I have the thing where I'm too old to be Asa, but I'm too young to be Makio.
Yeah, Makio's 35.
Okay.
I remembered that for normal reasons.
I'm too old to be Asa, I'm too young to be Makio.
No, that's
so
fair.
The leads aren't like fully relatable for me.
That is totally fair.
That isn't even an
Can I patronize you for half a second real quick?
Resonance. Go ahead.
I think you should rewatch it in like 10 years and see if it makes you like bleed your whole heart out.
Well, yeah.
Different life circumstances. I relate to Makio a lot. Shout out to her, honestly, because I have no idea how you're like roughly my age and you've got like a kid, essentially. Like it's her niece technically, but the premise of the show is that she adopts her niece after her parents die tragically in a car crash. She's a better person than I am, I'll say that. But yeah, no, a lot of like really subtle and beautiful directorial work on that show. Also, like they
I
do.
Feel like Makio the character would deny being a better person than you.
Maybe, but maybe not.
I think. I feel like her observation is just we're both just people,
Maybe. We're writing fan fiction now, but no, it's a very good show. I don't want to spend too much time on any one of these. We can also touch on the other thing that we both watched this season, which we dropped, the Samurai Troopers reboot.
Before we do, I don't want to say to the Frieren fans watching, if you haven't tried Ikoku Nikki, I recommend giving it a shot.
That is a slow-paced show about life.
Not to make too much of a point of insulting Frieren, but I mean, the thing James has said, like the things that you are. I want to resist being mean in this last bit.
The themes that Frieren does deal with.
Tell yourself, yeah.
The themes that Frieren does try to deal with,
which is also interested in. I think it is better at them.
Yes. There you go.
Across the board, to be honest. It doesn't cover literally all of them, obviously.
And it's not a fantasy series, so you don't get your elves and such. But
yeah,
it's fine.
A bit more. It is a bit more. Like haha freaks, not too much though. I wouldn't say there's too much about the show, but I mean, it's it jumps around with the chronology a bit more than, you know.
Oh, you mean like you mean like haha sickos? I thought you meant that it was like
Oh,
making fun of
yeah,
the
sorry, I said the
characters
wrong
in
thing.
some way, and I was like,
No,
what
yeah,
are you
you're right.
talking
I had the
about?
wrong thing. Yeah, haha sickos. It's a bit more haha sickos, and that you need to Jesus, I can't help it. You need to pay more attention.
Gosh,
You do.
you need to be okay with like a little bit of achronological stuff, and you need to like really keep your eyes dialed on like facial expressions and little character
Yeah.
bits and such. It's
I would
not
also describe it
super
as needing to
challenging.
be
It's just
more okay with. Like, I'll use the words realistic, I guess realistic depictions of its characters. Asa, in particular, the 15-year-old whose parents just died, is kind of a pain in the ass about it. You know?
The way that she constantly needles her friend about getting a boyfriend because she has not yet picked up on the fact that Emery, the friend in question, is gay and has a girlfriend is really awful but really funny. And also
Yeah.
the scene in like the early middle of the show where Makio meets Emery, has one conversation with her, clocks her dead as a lesbian, and is like, you could use this, and hands her a copy of the movie Fried Green Tomatoes, is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. It's really good.
Again, it's not resonating with me too much, but like full fucking respect to it. It
Yeah.
is a good show. It's one that I'm glad exists. I can't remember. I feel like it's airing on Noit Anima, and it's good that they're airing like real anime again. Because for a while they were just doing hot bullshit. It's like this is the
Real
stuff that people
anime.
kind of like the channel for. I know that next season we're getting Awajima Hyake, 100 Scenes of Awajima, which I have heard will be similar to Ikokuniki in terms of like some aspects of the vibe. I could be way off. I don't want to go into the show expecting, oh, I'm basically gonna like get to keep watching Ikokuniki because of this. But
Yeah, no, that's
if you try Ikokuniki and you like it, well, there's another show that's about to air that could be kind of like it. Isn't that crazy?
yeah.
Yes, Ben and Freyren.
Yeah.
We did both drop Samurai Troopers. Samurai Troopers
Yeah.
was bad, and according to some people in your servers, has only gotten worse.
Yeah, really, really unfortunate case of a show with like a genuinely great first episode, and it kind of just falls off immediately from there. Like the second episode was okay, but
I heard our favorite female character either died or became a traitor.
I
Or
think it's
became a
both.
traitor and died.
Yeah, I think she
okay.
became like she became like a demon, and then they killed her. I don't know.
Right.
You know, not a ton to say about that one. Just like
Yeah.
it's always disappointing when a show that you stick your neck out for the first episode of ends up being not good.
Yeah.
And
then Shiba Yugi happened. We spoke about this a fair amount earlier.
Shiba Yugi, yeah.
Holy fuck.
Happened is a good word for it. That is not so much a show that you watch as it is like a thing that occurs to you.
Like, by the way, I mean, I was said if you like Frierenk, you should try Ikokuniki. I think you get like similar things in the best.
We are talking
if
to
like
imaginary
Frierenk,
people.
You do not necessarily need to try Shiba Yugi.
We are talking to imaginary people.
No, I know. But I think if you haven't seen Shiba Yugi,
you should. It's really fucking fantastic.
Episode. If you don't like the first episode, it is not going to do anything that will pull you in.
Yeah, no, it is actually, it's a very consistent show in this way. If you watch the first episode and you like it, you'll like the rest of the show. If you don't like it, you will not like the rest of the show. Simple as.
Nice and straightforward. It's fun when that happens.
It's probably the only straightforward thing about the show.
Yeah. But no, it's good as fuck.
Absolutely.
If you are the sickos that it wants to talk to, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit obtuse, but like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, you need to think about it.
Yeah.
Oh heavens!
I'm looking forward. Here's how it is. I'm looking forward to watching it a second time now that I've got a better understanding of what it's going for. That's where I'm at with it. I also want to read the novels.
Yeah. No, I mean, fucking fair enough.
Yeah.
It's just good fucking shit. Oshnako happened.
Yeah,
All over the place.
I think you're like a little more positive on the season of Oshinoko than I was. Am
It
I
is
right
still
about
all over
that?
the place, though.
It is.
Um,
I
Technically, the Evangelion Asuka short also counts as this season.
I loved that short. That
I cannot sit there and say with a straight face that it mogs free run. Like,
I
it does,
can.
obviously. It
I
slightly
fucking
fucking does.
can.
But also, this is like this and Free Run are not like competitors in this scenario. They're not airing in the same season as in it. Which one do you want to spend your time with? Like this was a special, you know?
Sure, it's like 30 minutes long,
Yeah,
not even.
and it's
Um
also, I mean, fucking.
like a
It's an
spin-off of like a
Evangelion film.
30-year-old series. Yeah, like you gotta obviously they're not in the same category, but it's really good. And
Yeah,
like surprisingly heartfelt. Also,
yeah.
I will not let it rest my statement that because of the like ending credits scene for that Asuka now counts as a band girl character.
Dub. Um, did you watch that Evangelion Neon
I did
Genesis Fate
not watch
Impact or
that
whatever the
yet.
fuck?
I
You
have it
should.
downloaded. I should get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Um,
actually wanted to talk about Oshinoko a little more if that's cool with you.
sure, go for it.
So my thing with Oshinoko is that I have been like a big defender of it up until the third season. It kind of started losing me in a big way around the second half of this season, which I was already not super feeling the first half of the season. And then the final episode of this season does some weird stuff where I'm like, I don't know if this is necessarily a good direction to take the show in, but it's at least like an entertaining direction. So sure, I'll tune in for the final season. Um, I think the bit where big spoiler alert, by the way. I think the bit where Aqua finally like reveals that he was Dr. Goro, uh, I don't know if I would have held on to that revelation for that long as like a writer, but if you're going to do it, I think now was about the time. And the bit immediately after where Ruby is like, hmm, when we were in our previous lives, he promised to marry me when I turned 16. Finally, I can fuck my brother with no remorse.
It's so funny.
It's so good. I have heard that people like hate that plot development. Here's my
It is a
question to you.
Haseko's moment.
Here's my question to you. If you have watched the first two seasons of Oshinoko or read the equivalent amount of the manga, and this surprised you in some way, fucking how? like,
You know.
like we were always gonna end up here, and I think that, I'm not saying it's something that I would write, but if you're going to do something like that, fucking commit to it, and they did. So,
Yeah,
there's even a bit in like
Haseko's.
yeah, there's even a bit like after that where Kana is like, these two are too clingy. I can smell the degeneracy in the air, and it's like, hold on, you can't
Yeah.
have her say that.
No, it's
um,
funny. Aqua's like supposed to be all like edgy and fucking distant at this point,
God,
but also
yeah,
just lets his sister get all over him.
yeah, it's like,
I
oh
love
god,
him. He's
just
a silly guy.
like the tiniest thing to actually humanize the character somewhat, because when Aqua does this like brooding loner bullshit, I cannot stand it. Like, I'm aware it's supposed to be kind of off-putting, but it's much, and I don't think it works the way that they want it to. Uh, so anything like that where there's like a little bit of levity let into the character is good, including the bit at the very end where he tries to get the Crow Girl involved in the movie's production, and I really hope she does because I need to know how that plays out.
It's funny. It's true.
Yeah. So solid ending to a rough season of Oshinoko.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with that.
Mhm.
What else did I watch this season?
To be fair, I don't think there's as much to talk about at this point. Because, unless you want to sit and talk about Darwin Incident, like,
You tell me, Josh. How's Darwin Incident going?
um, I mean, Freeran and Charlie from Darwin Instant share Atsumi Tanizaki as their Seiyu.
They do. That's true. That's
and
a
in
fact.
the most recent episode of Darwin Instant, Darwin, nope, Charlie, Jesus, oh, like Charlie's Darwin.
Yeah, I just got that too. Fuck off.
Me too. Yeah. Anyway,
we're so stupid. This is why you shouldn't listen to anything we say about anime. We're clearly the two dumbest people alive.
No, like fucking Christ. Yeah. Anyway, Charlie tells his like human friend girl, "Do you want to mate with me?" Oh right, like you guys don't say that. Fuck, have sex, because I want to do that with you. Anime of the year, Haha Sekros.
Look, I'm just saying, it's bold.
Always a good thing.
It's bold. Does that make a show good on its own? No, but it's bold. Okay.
Odd no.
Just to go off some things that I've seen that you haven't. I got onto the You and I Are Polar Opposites train way late in the season. I watched the dub mostly. And it was fantastic. What is her name? I need to check this real quick. The dub actress.
Voice actress.
Shut up. The dub actress for Suzuki. I mean, the Japanese voice acting is also very good, obviously. Analyst isn't loading. No. Okay, there we go. Celeste Perez. Yeah, no, she's really good as Suzuki. Just a very, very fun, bouncy, zesty take on the character. Just a really great show overall. Like, some of the most fun I've had watching a show in a long, long time. Definitely deserves its place as like one of like the premier rom-coms of the past decade or so that people put it into.
I'm looking at her page and she's dubbed Shimarine. Crazy.
Who was that again?
Shimarine from Eurocamp.
Oh, okay. Fair.
By the way, like if you want Goody Asuke, what's Eurocamp?
There's another one. And then the other thing that I'm watching that you're not is Fate Strange Fake. Fate Strange Fake, the entire Fate series is like my bullshit. Like I think if you're gonna make an over the top fantasy thing, it needs to have a lot of proper nouns and it needs to have a lot of crazy character designs. Fate has always been good to me on both of those fronts. Anytime there's a new Fate thing, I try to tune in. Strange Fake has been very good so far. Solid, like, 8 out of 10, maybe a 9, I don't know. Not that the scores matter that much to anybody but me, but, you know. New Pretty Cure season's been pretty good. Still waiting for them to introduce Arcana Shadow, but, you know, we move. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. No,
which, you know, not a ton of shows, I guess, but I always tend to score, like, qualify seasons more by how good the good shows are than how many good shows there are, if that makes sense.
I know what you mean.
Anyway, I mean...
Next season looks interesting.
Yeah.
Dear viewers, take a look at next season. Watch some of the stuff that intrigues you.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on the day it goes up, what the hell is it called? 4 seasons something or rather. Josh, what show am I thinking of?
I don't actually remember what
Fuck, Josh, look it up, please, quickly.
Japanese or English. I'm getting there.
Yeah, thank you.
Agents of the 4 Seasons.
Thank you. That show starts tomorrow. I will maybe write about it.
I didn't know that.
Possibly.
It's by the Violet Evergarden novelist, and has an interesting premise. That's why we're here for that one.
Yeah.
My personal show to look out for is Kujima. Why sing when you can warble?
Please do not talk to me about Kujima. We're not doing this. We're not.
Anyway, we made this episode a bit longer by talking about stuff that isn't free run. Thing that I need to infinitely clarify: if you like free run, you go, girl, slay.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I would say
I mean that earnestly. I don't care if you you need to analyze the things you like. No, shut up. I'm not a pretentious wank. Live your life. Do what you want.
I just think okay, if you like free run, obviously
I don't even care. That's
yeah, no. You know, if you like the show by all means, continue liking the show. We just don't, and I think we've gone into why.
Yeah,
Enough.
I mean, nobody's surprised at that point.
Yeah.
But they don't like the show. I thought they loved it. They certainly fucking talk about it enough.
Anyhow,
yeah, Frieren, I'm done. We might
yep.
watch season 3. We probably will.
We will probably not. No.
I love you, Wolfie. Don't watch these videos. I'm sorry.
Everybody else, subscribe, or we will
cancel season 3.
Subscribe, or we'll make sure Frieren never gets to the Golden Land. Good night, everybody.
My hero.